So this is gonna be a little bit different because there's always a little bit of acting in a job interview, but when you're an atheist interviewing for a job at a Catholic school, it requires a new level of skill. As a recent immigrant, I had just gotten my work permit, so I updated my resume and I started submitting to jobs. My experience in Argentina, where I'm from, included working with study abroad students, so I realized like a job in education would be a good place to start. So I sent out a bunch of emails, but at the same time, I was kind of worried that whatever experience abroad would just not be appealing to employers. I get this email. They want me to come in for an interview for a job at a school at the Department of Chemistry. I'm excited, but at the same time I'm nervous because I don't think I can name 10 elements of the periodic table in Spanish, let alone in English. And also like majors, minors, credit, like yeah, I watched, there's a whole genre of school movies that I watched, but I have no idea how the school system works. So I realized that I'm not the person for the job, but I decided that I could really use the experience interviewing to get more comfortable. So I approached this the way any professional actor would. I commit to it, and I do the research to come in prepared. I'm looking at the screen, and 2 clicks after, I'm staring at the website of a Catholic school. And I realized that this is going to be way harder than I thought. I'm not an atheist, but I did go through the bureaucratic hassle of apostasy just to get unbaptized. I'm not an atheist, but my favorite country is Uruguay, because they've had a secular constitution from the very beginning. Not Argentina. Argentina, the church can pass or block legislation on the grounds that 80% of Argentinians are technically Catholics. I say technically because that's the percentage of people who are baptized, usually underage children being baptized on their parents' decision, out of tradition, and zero understanding that that's going to lead to like civil restrictions and such. I'm not an atheist, but when someone invites me to their child baptism, I usually ask if this 1-year-old came to this very important personal decision before or after they shot themselves. So I might be an atheist. But also on this website, I learned about health insurance, and retirement, and pay time off. What a concept for an immigrant. I mean, so now I believe in Jesus, Lord and Savior. And I come to this interview and I'm surprised because in the interview is not only the office manager, but also the chair and the vice chair of the department. And they all have copies of my resume and they have notes in them. And they're asking very thorough questions. I'm keeping up, but like, this is like too much. And they're like friendly, but incisive. And I'm 90 minutes into the interview. So at this point, I'm worried that I have died. I've gone to hell. And hell is just a place where I interview for a job at a Catholic school forever and ever. And at that point, one of them says, as you know, this is a Catholic school, Jesuit, to be precise. Are you familiar with the work of Jesuits? And I do a very good job of suppressing my Satanist urges. And I answer, oh, Jesuits, yeah, I am. The current Pope is a Jesuit. He's also Argentinian. One of our 2 main experts, soccer players and popes. They laugh, so they forget about it. And we have a couple more secular questions, and they asked me to stay and interview with the chair alone. At this point, it's been, what, 2 hours? And I'm just exhausted. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep this up. It's a very long play that I've been acting in. And I didn't know it then, but I still had another hour to go. So this guy sits down and he says, Eliana, just so you know, I'm going to keep this interview going in English to be fair to the other candidates. But you should know that I'm also Argentinian. And I'm like, ha! That explains why I'm even here. Who sends out a resume 95% in Spanish and gets the interview? He starts talking about the chemistry department, about the school. He basically explains to me how the college system works in the US, and he makes it very clear that I don't need to know any chemistry whatsoever to perform this job. So I'm relieved. We keep talking and he offers a tour of campus, and we start walking, and as we walk, we start talking about the very delicate political situation Argentina is in, and we're both very worried that this far-right candidate might win the presidential race. We end the walk laughing and quoting jokes from George Carlin. Now I really want this job. And I go home, I sit tight, and I wait for what's supposed to be about a week before I hear back from them. I'm at this point praying that they're gonna give this godless girl a chance. And 48 hours later, I get an email that says, welcome to the chemistry department. And I'm in such disbelief that I don't tell anyone about my new job until I get my first paycheck. And I realized that even though I still reject beliefs in any deities, I should pretty much cut it down with the whole skepticism. Because I was wrong in prejudging these people, clearly. But most importantly, I should have had a little more faith in myself. Thank you.